Education will be the topic Wednesday night at a forum with candidates for mayor of Boston. So far, 10 candidates are expected. The event will take place Wednesday, June 5th, 7 p.m. at the Edward Brooke Charter School, 190 Cummins Highway in Roslindale. The forum is being sponsored by the Stand for Children Leadership Center in partnership with Citizen Schools, Education Pioneers, Education Reform Now, Mass 2020, Teach for America, Teach Plus, and Young Education Professionals. Our guests are with two of those groups. We'd like to welcome from Stand for Children, the Boston Director, Brandy Oakley, and from Education Pioneers, the Executive Director, Kimberly Zouzoua. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
I want to start with Kimberly. Stand for Children has been involved in a number of issues, including teacher accountability. So what's the focus that your organization will add to this event?
Well, the purpose of the event this evening is to ensure, Wednesday evening, is to ensure that parents have the opportunity to hear directly from the candidates about their views on shaping education in the city of Boston to provide a quality education for all children. The mayor in Boston has tremendous influence in shaping the education system, and given that one of these candidates will likely become the next mayor of Boston, it's important that parents and teachers and school administrators are informed on what the hopeful mayor intends to do to make sure all of our kids get the best education possible.
Yeah. Turning to Kimberly Zouzoua, you're concerned with school administrators. What are the main focuses there?
The main focus is not necessarily being concerned with our school administrators, but opening the doors for leadership and increased leadership and professional opportunities for our administrators to create environments of success for our teachers and for our students.
And do you have any idea about some ways that school systems could make that work better?
Yes, I think there's the opportunity for schools to look outside of the traditional studies that individuals go through. For example, looking into programs and organizations that are able to pipeline individuals focused on possibly their master's degrees in business administration, law degrees, therefore because they bring a distinct and specific skill set to administrating and building systems.
Brandy, okay, I know your group has been concerned with quality control around teachers, and one of the big questions over the past year has been, do you peg that to test scores or not? I think there was a sort of a compromise, but are you going to be pushing the candidates maybe to look to change that in some way, maybe?
No, the purpose of the candidate forum this Wednesday is really to hear from the candidates on what their beliefs and issues are. While Stand for Children does have beliefs on certain issues, on Wednesday night it's more about what do the candidates think are the most important issues in education and what are their solutions to improve those outcomes for all of our children in the city.
Right. Coming back to Kimberly Zouzoua, the diversity among administrators has also been an issue in Boston because, well, we don't maybe necessarily have the racial diversity that really matches that much with the student population. Will you think that be a topic as well for candidates?
I think it should be a very important topic for candidates because you're looking at in our urban school system that the majority of our students are of color, and I think it's very important that administration as well as teachers represent the population that they serve.
Going back to Brandy, the other question here is about the role for parents at this forum, because the idea is not just for them to sit there and listen.
Correct. So at the forum we will have audience members, including parents and teachers, who will pose questions to the candidates based on some of the concerns that are important to them.
Right. To Kimberly, the other thing here is that when you get candidates to talk about having more racial diversity, more career diversity among administrators, it's hard to say no to something like that. So what should people be listening for?
I think what people should be listening for is innovation. What are the candidates bringing to the table that has not been done before, that is an opportunity for growth and for success, and who are pretty much dogmatic in understanding that they're not afraid to change what's traditional, but they're willing to do something new.
By the way, you know of something untraditional that has had a good effects that you can cite?
Things that have been untraditional, there has been opportunity for students to be more outside of the classroom, taking students on more trips that are not necessarily within their neighborhoods, but outside to give them more opportunity to learn, to explore. I think it's very important that when you empower students, educate them at the same time, gives them a whole broader sense as to life and what their opportunities can be.
Brandy, the other thing about this event, it starts, at least the formal part of it starts at 7 o'clock, but the doors open at 6, so I guess some of the candidates might show up early, and I guess if the parents want to get in there, talk a bit, that's their chance too.
Absolutely, Chris. So the doors do open 1 hour in advance of the event, and campaigns will be present to speak with members from the community. It's a chance for members of the community to hear from campaign staff and candidates and meet them themselves.
Of course, the other thing here, this is in a charter school. Nothing wrong with charter schools. Some people like them very much, but it makes me think, well, are they going to ask these candidates about lifting the cap, or at least lifting it a bit more?
Well, the questions that will be posed depend on what people submitted when they registered for the event. So if that was a question that many registrants submitted, then it may or may not, it will likely appear at the forum. But we haven't finished tabulating all the RSVPs yet.
Now, is the registration finished, or we have a little more time?
Registration closes this evening. We are almost near capacity. We have 575 folks who have already said that they plan to attend the event. And also we're going to stream it live from our website at www.stand.org Wednesday evening for those who are unable to attend.
Now, our show's on at 5:30 the first time, so the real deadline would be exactly when this evening?
Probably 8.
8 o'clock, so don't spend too much time eating, get down to those questions. And finally, one more time on the exact day and time at the school here?
It's a Wednesday, June 5th at the Edward Brooke Charter School in Roslindale, Massachusetts, 190 Cummins Highway, 7 p.m.
Thank you both, Brandy Oakley and Kimberly Zouzoua.
Thank you,
We'll
Chris.
have more news in just a moment.